Yeah, okay, now we've come an awful long way here. Uh, we now have DaVinci Resolve. We have our timeline has been built up where we have the actual Mandelbulb 3D animation. We have text. So for our titling, we've thrown in some copyright statements. All right, we're in good shape. Now, what we do know is that we sped forward, even though all of our subframes hadn't been fully rendered out. I dove into this, preparing this DaVinci Resolve project, knowing full well that not all my subframes were rendered out, but there was enough subframes there that had been rendered where I could get a good head start. And really all I need to do is, now that I have my DaVinci Resolve project in pretty good shape, is to go get the remaining frames that have been since rendered out. Okay? Now, I don't know exactly how many frames have been rendered out. They're not done, I'm sure of it. But the principle that I'm going to show you here would be the same whether or not there was another 10 or another 10,000 frames that are rendered after you prepare your DaVinci Resolve project. So what I'm going to show you here, the concepts and the principles remain the same. Okay. So we do know by looking up here that the last frame that I pulled in was, let's see, yeah, 3,643. Let's go find where our subframes are. And let's go find the last one that we pulled in. All right, so what was it? 3,643. 643 right here. That was the last one we pulled in. So I'm going to highlight the ones that have been rendered by Mandelbulb3D since we started the DaVinci Resolve project. And I'm just using my mouse wheel to scroll down. All right. So I don't want to pull in this 0KB because that's just a placeholder. But I can highlight all of these. I'm doing a shift left mouse button, and I'm going to take in all of these frames beginning on the next one, 3644, the next one after 3643. All right? So it's really a simple matter of holding down the mouse, the left mouse button, and moving these onto the timeline right here. And I'm going to drop them on this timeline. I'm not butting them up just yet. Not just yet. Now you'll notice here that brought in and combined the images, the frames, so that I have a second set. All right, which is this set right here. All right, we don't need this anymore. Let's clean that up. Now, again, the concepts that I'm telling you now will apply whether or not you brought in 10 frames or 10,000 here. And I'm going to assume that this is going to be the end of our animation, although it's not, because the roll has not completed. All right, but I'm just showing you how to tack on more subframes into your DaVinci Resolve project. All right, now first thing I want to do is I want to make this bigger so I can see what I'm doing. I obviously don't need a fade out here. I'm going to take that fade out away. I'm going to take these two and move them out of my way. All right, so all I have to do is just, let me get a bigger view here. All I have to do, since the snap is turned on, and you'll find that up in the workspace area. All right, just move that until they snap together. All right, now I should see a nice smooth movement as it passes right on here. I see a nice smooth movement, so there was no glitch, there was no hesitation in my animation. If I was to do something like this, if I didn't bring them all in properly, I'd get something like this. Now, watch the preview. See how it kind of snapped? And that's because, for whatever reason, I didn't get the subframes subsequent to the subframes here onto my timeline. And I just fabricated that just by reducing the number of frames that are played on the timeline. You see it snapped. It's no good. So you want to make sure that you have all of your frames are brought in, snap it, and now if we play it, nice smooth action. But you'll notice here that I did make color correction, which is why that is a brighter color than this. This, you see? So I need to get these color corrections applied over to this next timeline segment. And to do that, all I need to do is right mouse click, copy, all right, and then set focus to the next clip. I set focus, red outline, right mouse click, and now paste attributes. And I click that. Now let's get this where you can see it better. Okay. And this is really saying we're going to take the attributes from this clip and we're going to put it on this clip. So from the previous clip to the new clip. All right, and these video attributes, if I click this on, it's going to take everything in, and color correction is going to be brought in. That's what I'm really after. If you look through here, you don't see the sharpening that I did, but we're going to handle that differently. But the key thing is that any effects that any attributes that I applied to the previous keyframe, color correction would be attributes, I'm going to paste over onto my new one. All right, so let's apply that. Now you'll notice here that my coloring of the second segment is identical to the coloring of the first segment. So if I play this now, you see I've got a really perfect union between the first set of keyframes and the second set, inclusive of the color correction. And any sizing that I might do, zooming, anything. It all comes over with the copy and the paste attributes functionality. Now, I've got to get the sharpening over. All right, so if I look at my first timeline segment and go up to the inspector, effects, there's my sharpening. All right, and what I'm going to do, I got to note that I had modified this to be a sharpen amount of 1.4. I'm going to come over to my effects stack. I'm just going to type in sharpen most to show you how it's done. I'm going to take this effect and drop it over here, and then I'm going to set focus to that, and let's get on it, and 1.4 and 1.4. Good. All right, so it worked out good. So as long as my sharpening effects, my sharpening properties are the same between the two timeline segments, I'm in pretty good shape. So what I've done is, now let's get the text over here on the end here. All right, and expand that so that we can actually see my fade out on the end, there's 1 second. All right, let's get this, and yeah. So where is the segment I just put in? There we go. Oh, here, let's move this copy right over to here, move it around like that. So here's the new segment that here's the old segment, and then, all right, here's the old segment. Now, and this transitions to the new segment right there. All right. All right, good. So I've got a good. I got a good animation there. There's the split right there. Seamless, you can't even tell it happened. Okay. Okay. So that's how you bring in more subframes even after you have completed setting up your DaVinci Resolve project. All right, we're over time on this session. Let's end it here. And when we come back, I'm going to show you how to render from DaVinci Resolve. I'll see you there.